Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. Okay, Trump is still running his mouth, and a lot of other people are running their mouths at the UN this morning. We'll have to wait for that to get a synopsis of that, because he's supposedly very digressive speech telling other countries they're going to hell because of the migration policy. So I want to wait to see what everybody else has in response to him, because I think what we're going to be seeing is America's losing its prestige, its so-called power. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Kimmel's back, supposedly, but the Sinclair network isn't going to carry it on their ABC stations. But he's got they're talking about some sort of independent gig, and that's pretty cool, I think. Got a new notepad here. I have to go out tomorrow and mail a whole bunch of stuff, very expensive mail, to vote and for Social Security to keep my checks coming. We'll see how that works out. What else is happening? Everybody's putting a lot of faith in the 2026 elections. The Republicans are saying they can handle it because, well, they're doing all the redistricting and everything like that. They're going to do everything they can to make it impossible for people to get elected fairly. It won't be a fair election no matter who wins. Probably. Don't know if that's going to be true. I'm just going back through the news. You got my boy Jimmy. But like I said, the battle is far from over. And I'm surprised that Disney said they bring him back, because Disney's got a lot of problems going with DeSantis down there, and they've had some problems with so I don't know whether, how much shit they want to kick up. Trump's claims about Tylenol, listen, that there was Don Imus's wife. I don't know if you ever listened to Don Imus. He's been dead for a few years now, but his wife would come on his show and bring people on with her that were about vaccines and autism. So what it is they're looking for something that's causing autism, and they don't know what it is. They can't find it, so they're blaming anything and everything. I know people with autism. I know young guys with autism, kids that have had autism, and sometimes it's not horrible, and sometimes it is. But I don't think that it's a problem. They can't link it to anything. And I don't know how many cases of autism happen a year. So I'm probably talking through my ass on this, So please, if you want to yell at me, come on, yell at me, because I really don't know the answer to that. Too many opinions, not enough facts. So Trump canceled his meeting with Democratic leaders ahead of a government shutdown. He's basically telling them, I don't care what you want to do. I'm going to do what I want to do. So go away. Leave me alone. The deal with TikTok, if you've looked at that, it's bad for free speech, I think, because the algorithm will be controlled by Oracle in the U.S. after the sale is completed, and Oracle is a big supporter of Trump, so you know what's going to happen there. And Twitter didn't last. Twitter went down the tubes right after their sale, and I think TikTok will do the same thing. because they're already looking for alternatives. You know, it's like I went to Mastodon. I had Mastodon Social and Mastodon Universidon, and which were Universidon. I can't get, something's gone wrong with it today, but that's the first problem I've ever had with it. And I have good contact there with people, so you know. And I'm not looking to have 10,000 friends. I don't do a lot of posting on those websites. I do my posting here with the video, and then I'm done for the day usually. Occasionally I'll post something to Facebook so my friends can see it. I'm sure Facebook is censored, because you got to watch that. That's a guy that's got some serious problems. Zuckerman. He's pushing AI, and he's pushing it too fast. And he doesn't realize AI already outthinks human beings. And you want to push it to what? What end? You want to control. Nobody's ever going to control AI, okay? 100%. AI is going to end up being a nightmare for a lot of people. Some of the smartest people on earth have already said that, and warned about that. That it's a huge threat to humanity, Well, wait and see, because I think Zuckerman's not smart at all. I think what Zuckerman is he's a Bill Gates type guy. He steals stuff. He doesn't invent shit. Okay, and people think he's this great genius, and he's not. He's a wheeler and a dealer. He's a grifter, and he's been pretty good at it so far. And we'll just have to wait and see. Well, I won't be around probably to see well, maybe I will. The way things are coming along, I could see it. Oh crap. There's going to be some real problems with the news media, because the Pentagon has demanded for press to sign press pledge restricting reporting. His $100,000 fee is already hitting on the HB1B visas. That's already having problems, which is good, because he didn't think. See, that's the thing. He's impulsive. He's not a thinker, and that's why a lot of his businesses go bankrupt, because he's impulsive. I still haven't figured out how you bankrupt a casino. I really don't understand how you do that. But he did it. Not, they've said he's bankrupted. He only owned 2, I think, if that. We had 7 or 8 bankruptcies. They weren't all casinos, and people are trying to make it out like it's all casinos, and it's not. There's other things too. So you don't know how that's going to work out. Good football game last night. Better than I thought it was going to be. And of course, I'm always happy when I see the Ravens lose. I like their coach. I just don't like their quarterback. I don't know why. He's never done anything to me. I've never heard him say anything really, really bad. But Trump has declared Antifa, if I'm pronouncing it right, a terrorist organization. The problem with that is it doesn't collect dues or anything like that. It's really not an organization. Just a sort of a bunch of people that hang out, and it's going to be a little bit strange. Kamala Harris is talking about calling Trump a tyrant. Kamala Harris can say whatever she wants. She spent 6 months in hiding, basically. Now she's coming out because there's some sympathy or something, I guess, towards her. I don't know. The women in the world are the part. They're looking for a candidate. She's not the one. Not for a major office. She could do it for a lot of other things, but she wanted to be governor. I don't know whether she could even do that because Newsom's very powerful, and I think he's headed for the presidency. So I don't know whether she want. I don't think she'd like. I don't think they get along. They're still. Still doing things with this Kirk thing. We'll wait and see about that. I don't know that. I'm not so sure that's the biggest issue in the world right now. There's the Kamala Harris thing. Shutdown is going to come around, and that's because that's all politics. It's not, these guys don't do their job. Their job is to serve us, to develop programs to help us, and they're basically right now they're all about them. What affects them, not what affects the country. So the lone Democrat on the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, is going to get fired. These things, I don't know whether they worked or not, but they were around, and now Trump's going after everything and anything he can to destroy the government. And as I said, he's stealing from us on a pretty regular basis. And I think a lot of this stuff is just a distraction from his preparations to declare martial law and block the 2026 elections. And the Republicans are going to stand up and cheer in Congress when he does that. Guaranteed, But then you're leaving the people no other way to make a change other than through not going to work through legal means, so then they're going to have to try something else. And he wants to be able to order his military to kill people like Zai did in Tiananmen Square, run them over with tanks and stuff like that. That's just what he wants to do. Because he's one of these elitists that just doesn't think that the little guy's got any rights at all, that he's capable of doing anything other than, bitching and moaning about stuff. But Donald's not very bright, and I think that'll be his downfall. But you got to watch out for Vance, because Vance is pretty smart. And they're sitting around now, and most of the planning that's going on will not include Trump, because they realize Trump is done. Whether he's done this year or next year or whenever, or at the end of his term, if he lasts to the end of his term, they're going to, have problems. Besides, if the Democrats were really smart, they'd be getting the guys with the little white coats to start paying visits to him, because I think he's losing his mind. I think he's senility is setting in, and they're using something to keep him. They're using drugs to keep him up when he has to make personal appearances, and then he just falls apart. I don't even know how much late night tweeting he's doing right now, so we'll have to wait and see about that too. All right, listen up, folks. We're coming down to the end of the day. Tuesday. Tomorrow's Wednesday. I don't know, hump day. We'll see what happens there. There's so many little distractions, and people keep trying to bring back the Epstein files. And I'm telling you, we all know he's in there. We all know nobody's going to do anything about it. There's not enough evidence to charge him with pedophilia, but he's there. He's on lists. He took part in a lot of things. So, and nobody cares, apparently. There's a big crisis in the United States, and I don't think people are really truly aware of it, that the pedophilia is an epidemic, and that's just, not something you want to read about. Okay. That's it. I'm done. You know what to do. You see that little button on the bottom of the right, I don't know, right or left side of the screen, depending on how you're looking at it. It says subscribe. Stomp that sucker, folks. I want to see some people out there that think like I do. Crazy son of a bitches. So if you can get down to the computer in the asylum, hit that subscribe button, folks. And we'll talk tomorrow. Have a good day.